So how do I add a new directory? On the screen in front of you, there are two areas whereby you can add a new directory. During this video, I will be covering both areas and then afterwards explain why. The first one is the purple plus next to the word directory, and if I hover over it, it will say add new entry. The second one is add new with a little drop down menu. When I click on the purple plus, the following screen will appear. On the screen in front of you, you will see a couple of options. The first one you will see is called listed name, and you will notice that it is written in black. The second one is called belongs to, and it is written in blue. The reason for this difference in color is because anywhere in WorkPool whereby a field is marked in black, it means that that field is required, whereby blue is optional. So what is the listed name field used for? Well, there are a variety of ways of making use of this field, and it's all dependent on your organization. In most organizations, it's used for the client's name or the supplier's name. It could also be a staff member's name, a physical asset, or a room, for example. The directory should therefore be configured according to the outcomes of the assessment intervention as done by your WorkPool consultant. When adding information into the directory, it is important to consider searching for this information at a later stage. It is therefore recommended that when adding a client or a service provider, to start with his or her surname, in this case Mr. Soap. Then, is it a Mr. or Mrs., his or her initial, and then in brackets, the calling name. As a seasoned WorkPool consultant, this is the formula I use to add all new directory entries. Next is belongs to. Belongs to we'll be covering in a later video. The following field is reference number. It is recommended to all clients to leave this field blank. Should synchronization with external databases ever be required, WorkPool will then utilize this field to enter a unique reference number that corresponds with a unique reference number in the other system. This will ensure that both systems can talk and synchronize data with each other. If clients add information in this field and synchronization is enabled, that information in that field will then be lost. It is therefore recommended to add any reference number information on a separate view definition, covered in a later video. The next section is the notes field. Within notes, we can type notes about our client. In this example, the client is also the supplier of our stationery. I am using this example to later explain how do we link Mr. Soap's business that supplies the stationery and his personal directory together. This will be covered in a later video. Is group and is personal will also be covered in a following video. The final section, Publish Folder 2, is required. As you can see, it is in black. Currently, I've got access to two different business units, Business Unit 1 and Business Unit 2. Every directory entry should be a member of at least one business unit. Business units are often used to separate data between departments at an organization. An example of these departments could be HR and all other business-related activities. HR requires confidentiality to ensure that staff information remains confidential. Staff directories could therefore be added to the HR business unit, whereby all clients could be added to the business unit dedicated for business activity. A directory entry could also be a member of more than one business unit. Once we are happy, we need to press Save to save this client into our directory. We have now successfully added our first client into our database. The second way of adding a new directory into WorkPool is to go to Add New. If I click on the drop-down, you will see two options: Add New Communication and Add New Person. In your WorkPool, there might be different options dependent on how your WorkPool was configured by your WorkPool implementation consultant. In this case, I'm going to click on Communication, and WorkPool will tell me that you are about to add a new entry, which is the same as clicking on the purple plus, and a new view, a concept we have not yet discussed. If I click OK, WorkPool will consolidate the adding of a new view definition and the adding of a WorkPool directory entry into one step. The next video will explain what a view definition is and how to add it.